The Triumph TR3 is a British sports car produced between 1955 and 1962 by the Standard Motor Company of Coventry, England. A traditional roadster, the TR3 is an evolution of the company's earlier TR2 model, with greater power and improved braking. Updated variants, popularly but unofficially known as the TR3A and TR3B, entered production in 1957 and 1962 respectively. The TR3 was succeeded by the mechanically similar, Michelotti-styled Triumph TR4. The rugged sidescreen TR, so named for its use of removable plexiglass side curtains, was a sales and motorsport success. With approximately 74,800 TR3s sold across all variants, the model was the company's third best seller in the TR range, behind the TR7, 111,500 units, and TR6, 94,500 units models. The TR3 is powered by a 1,991cc 121.5 cu in standard wetliner engine. This OHV straight 4 initially produced 95 bhp, 71 kilowatts, an increase of 5 horsepower over the TR2, thanks to larger SU-H6 carburetors. This was later increased to 100 bhp at 5,000 revolutions per minute by the addition of a high-port cylinder head and enlarged manifold. The 4-speed manual gearbox could be supplemented by an electrically engaged overdrive, controlled by a switch on the dashboard. In 1956, the front brakes were changed from drums to discs, a first for a British series production car. Front suspension is by double wishbones, manganese bronze trunnions, coil springs and telescopic dampers with an optional anti-roll bar. Steering is a worm and peg system. Unlike MGs of the same period, the steering mechanism and linkage have considerable play and friction, which increase with wear. The rear suspension comprises leaf springs, a beam, axle, and lever arm dampers. The box frame rails are slung under the axle. Wheels are 15 inches in diameter and 4.5 inches wide, increased from 4 inches after the first few TR2s, with 48-spoke wire wheels optional. Wire wheels were usually painted, either body color or argent. Silver but matte chrome and bright chrome were also available. Under most conditions, the car is responsive and forgiving, but it had some handling issues. The chassis, which is shared by the TR2, TR3, TR3A, TR3B, and TR4, has limited wheel travel. As a result, on very hard cornering, the inside rear wheel can lift, causing sudden oversteer due to the increased load on the outside rear tire. This is particularly true with radial tires. The original TR2, 3, and 3, a suspension was built for cross-ply tires. The wheel lifting is more sudden than that of other cars, because it is caused by coming to the end of the suspension travel, while there is still load on the tire, so the load on the other outside rear wheel is a discontinuous function of cornering load, rather than just changing slope. The TR3 is a true roadster, designed for sunny weather, but with removable rain protection. It has a convertible hood that snaps on and off and removable side curtains, allowing very low doors with padding for the driver's arm to rest on. There are holes in the floor with rubber plugs, so that the originally supplied jack might be used from inside the car, as in the Jaguar XK120. The optional heater is poor, and the shutoff valve is under the bonnet. Some 13,377 examples of the original, pre-facelift, TR3 were produced, of which 1,286 were sold within the UK. The rest were exported mainly to the US. As of Q1 2011, there were approximately 826 licensed and 115 SORN TR33, as registered with the DVLA. Production period, October 1955 to summer 1957. Original price was basic model minus £950. Suspension. Front. Independent by unequal length double wishbones, coil springs and telescopic dampers. Rear, live axle, half-elliptic springs lever arm dampers. Brakes first 4408 models, 1955-56. with 10 inches drums all around. Remaining 9,000, 1956-57 front discs, rear drums. Tires 5.50 to 15 crossply, or 155, HR15 Pirelli Cinturato, CA67. Factory options. Triumph offered a wide range of options and accessories for both the competition-minded owner and those simply wishing to personalize their vehicle. TR3B is the unofficial name given to the final version of the Triumph TR3, which was produced in 1962. It was sold concurrently with the TR4, which started production in 1961. The TR3BB was a special short production run in response to dealer concerns that the buying public might not welcome the TR4. The appearance of most TR3BS is identical to that of the late US model TR3A, with the same wider headlamp rims, wider grille and door handles. 2 series of this version were made. 530 cars with a commission number preceded by TSF were produced, 29 of which were billed as Triumph Italias. 2,804 cars were produced with commission numbers preceded by TCF. Both series were partly produced in parallel. The TSF cars, like the last run of TR3As, have a 1,991cc engine and a transmission with no synchronizer on first gear. The TCF series has a fully synchronized transmission and a 2,138cc version of the standard wetliner engine with a 9:1 compression ratio. Fitted with 2 SU/H6 carburetors, it makes 105 horsepower, 78 kilowatts, 4,650 revolutions per minute, and 172 N.operator M, 127 pound-feet of torque, at 3,350 revolutions per minute. It gets between 20 and 30 miles per US gallon, 11.8 and 7.8 L, 100 kilometers, 24 and 36 mpg imp. Top speed is limited to about 110 miles per hour, 177 kilometers per hour by the gear ratio, unless fitted with an overdrive unit. An electrically operated Laycock de Normanville Type A overdrive, operating on 2nd, 3rd and 4th gears, was offered as an option. The car weighs 2,137 pounds, 969 kg. Motorsports. Competition 1960 Triumph TR3 2.2 liter in pit lane. Building on the enviable legacy of the TR28, the TR3 enjoyed much success in international motorsport competition. It was campaigned in races, hill climbs and rallies across Europe and North America, with several outright team and class victories to its credit. After the 1955 Le Mans disaster, the French government moved to restrict sports car rallying in that country to little more than long-distance road races. In response, Triumph competition manager Ken Richardson had steel hardtops bolted to 100 TR3s, homologating the new sports car as a Grand Touring Coupe, the GT class still permitted to race on French public roadways. TR3s were campaigned in the RAC Monte Carlo, Circuit of Ireland, Liège, Rome-Liège, International Tulip, Scheveningen, Luxembourg, Tour de France, Deux Acrours, Lyon Charbonnieres, Acropolis, Chabannes. British Auto Magazine, the motor tested a hardtop TR3 with overdrive in 1956. The car returned a top speed of 105.3 miles per hour, 169.5 kilometers per hour, and could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour, 97 kilometers per hour, in 10.8 seconds. A fuel consumption of 27.1 miles per imperial gallon, 10.4 L, 100 kilometers, 22.6 mpg was recorded.